Hello.
Hi, hello. This is Tommy Bryson. Is this Olayemi?
Yes. Whoa. Hi.
Hey, how
Yeah,
are
this is.
you?
I'm good.
Hey.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy to talk to you.
Okay, awesome. Just want to
Yeah.
let you know
Such
though
a.
that this
Yeah.
call's gonna be
Right.
recorded and potentially uploaded. How can I help?
Yes. Okay. Please, my husband is also here. He
Okay.
might have some questions. First of
Okay.
all, let me give you a background of the person that I am. I
Okay.
am a I am a registered nurse,
Thank you for
and
your
I've been a
service.
nurse. Yeah. Oh, thank you. So I've been a registered nurse for like over 11 years,
Wow.
and I just started having the interest of investing.
Okay.
Because I work so hard, and I feel like maybe when I start and after listening to your videos, I said I can get better returns from my hard work by start investing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was able to pay off my tuition fee,
Awesome.
so I don't really have any any loan from my tuition fee, and I don't have credit card debt.
Awesome.
So I was able to clear all of that. The only thing that we have together with my husband is our mortgage. So
Okay.
I was looking into stock exchange, and what really caught my attention was the index fund,
Awesome.
that you
Awesome.
talked about. And I know that I was trying to look at the short term stock buying. I don't really understand it, and I
Yeah.
find that might be too complex for me as a beginner.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, maybe the index fund will be good, and also plan for my retirement, and all that. So
Awesome.
that's why I wanted to talk to you one on one. My husband is actually listening to you as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's where I am.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're Olayemi, and your husband's name is
OLU.
Olu. Okay, nice to meet you guys. So thank you for allowing me to actually help you with this. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Now the first question I'm gonna ask is this. Okay, what it sounds like is basically that you've been working for a very long time, and then you
Yes.
bought a house, you managed to pay off your student loan debt, you have no credit card debt, and now all you want to do
Yes.
is just allow your money to actually grow and work for you to make you some passive income. But you don't want to take crazy risks. You just want to allow your money to actually grow, make him some money, and also have some money for you for the future. Does that sound right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So it all starts with the what's your income per month?
Per month.
Yeah.
I would say an average of, let's say, 3,000, minimum 3,000.
Okay.
But, like I can pick up extra shifts. I can do overtime. It
Okay.
depends on how I feel.
How much do you owe on this mortgage?
Currently, we hold like 40,000.
You owe $40,000?
Yes.
Congratulations, that is awesome. And where are you
Yeah.
located?
In Florida.
Okay, awesome. All right. Okay. And then this $3,000 income, is it just your income or is also Olu's income also
Oh, no,
combined?
that's different. That's just mine.
Okay. Now, are you guys going to do this plan together? So does he have a separate income also to actually put towards this plan?
I don't know, but for me personally, I don't mind doing it together or doing it separate. I just
You,
want him to also benefit from it. It
yeah.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay, so this is where it comes together, right? You guys have to be together because you guys are married. You guys are in the same boat here. You guys are paying a home
Okay.
together. Now,
Okay.
if you can actually include his income, that'll be even better. Now, my advice would be this, okay? Usually, the steps are this. Step one is you save $1,000 while you're paying off your debts, everything except the mortgage. In this case, you're telling me, Tommy, I have no student loan debt, I have no car payments, I have no credit card debt, I have no personal loan debt, right?
Okay. Let me go back to my husband. So the
Yeah.
plan is that I'm the one putting the minimum for the mortgage every month. We pay like 800 every month,
Okay.
and my husband pays extra.
Okay.
For in a month, he might put extra maybe 1,200, depending on the
Awesome.
expenses. So we are putting extra. So that's why it actually went down to 40,000 because
Okay.
on his part we put the extra. And also on his part it has we just bought a new car, so it pays like 800 every month.
You bought a new cat?
So
A new
it's
car?
a new car, a new vehicle, yes.
Oh, and then is that you got it on payment?
Yes, but that's coming from him.
Okay, how much do you owe on that?
Oh, how much?
Well, let's just say 52,000 or 53,000.
$53,000 on this car.
Yeah, but it's interest free, 0% interest.
Yeah, but it's still $53,000. So here would be my advice, right? First of all, you guys need a budget, not your budget or his budget, a budget together, right? So if you guys work together and he has income and you have income, you get to do things a lot faster, a lot quicker because you have two people working towards the same goal. It's just more faster.
Okay.
So I would get a budget. It's called a triple B budget. It's called a bare bone budget. That means you take care of the necessities and nothing else. That means only shelter, your mortgage here, utilities, light, internet, gas. Also, for example, groceries. You guys have kids?
Yes, we do. We
Okay,
have
so
two.
you make your grocery list there also, but have a budget for it. And then lastly, transportation. In this case, you have a decision here. If you have a car of $53,000, that means you according to the math, you gotta have an income of over 100K. But if you bought it, for example, on payments, it means, for example, over 60 payments here,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
That's almost like around $800 per month, not including the insurance, not including the maintenance, not including, for example, parking, if you do have any parking issues also. So the decision here is to ask yourself, well, if I get rid of this car and I buy, for example, a cheaper car for like $5,000, $10,000 temporarily, that means I can use my income to do two things. The first thing is going to be you save up for a full-blown 3 to 6 months of emergencies. So that means whatever your bare bone budget tells you your expenses actually are, you save 3 to 6 months worth of emergencies for that. On top of that, once you have that money saved, you need money for a sinking fund. A sinking fund is for things that you know are gonna happen, but you don't know when they're gonna happen. For example, if you have a home, you should have around between 2 to 4% of the property value saved up in case, for example, the roof leaks, you have maybe a mold problem, or anything crazy goes on with the AC or whatever it is. There's just money there in case anything breaks with the house. If you have cars, for example, save at least $2,000 to $3K per vehicle. That way, if something goes wrong with it, you have that money on the side also. Now, the rest of the money for your investments are gonna work like this, okay? And this only works if you sell the car, great. If you don't sell the car, I wouldn't put extra money towards the house. I would basically try to finish it off as fast as possible. But again, it is $53,000. It's more than your mortgage. I would probably sell the car, and that's hard for Olu, I know, because it's probably like a very nice car, but the decision is I can be 100% debt free, and then a year from then or 2 years from then, I can just buy that car for cash, right? So the investments, what do you invest into? You only invest between 10 to 20% of your income in this order. If the company gives you, for example, a company match on your 403B plan or your 401k plan or your SEP plan, if you are self-employed, the answer is you want to take that match and you want to maximize it. So you invest that amount of money into their 401k or their 403B plan. If they have a Roth option, even better. And then whatever money is left over, if there is money left over, you grab the rest of the money and you put it, for example, into your Roth IRA and try to max it out also. So if you make $3,000 plus Olu makes another $3,000, 10-20% of that is somewhere around like what is that? Let's just do some quick math here. Let's say $5,000.
600.
How much does Olu make?
How much do you make? It's per month.
Per month.
Per month is about almost 5,000. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So let's say together you guys make $8,000 per month, right? Now, if you're investing, let's say 10-20%, let's meet halfway. Let's say it's 15% of your money, right? That's around $1,200. That means you can maximize your Roth IRAs and also invest money into your 401k. The rest of the money left over, you want to throw it towards the mortgage.
Okay.
That way you're done with it a lot faster. Now with an income like this of $8,000 multiplied by 12, that's around $96,000. That means in 1 to 2 years, potentially, you're fully done with this mortgage. So by next year, you can be fully debt free. But the decision here is, does Olu sell his car or does he keep the car? If he keeps the car, you have to use, you don't go ahead and invest money and then also pay the house. You use both of your incomes to pay for that car as fast as possible. In my opinion, I would sell the car and then use the money, you pay for the house, you're done fully. And then you guys say, well, we're debt free here. We have our investments here. Now we can go ahead and basically, if Olu wants a new car and if you want a new purse, you can do it for cash because you have the money now. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, you're probably wondering, right, Tommy, what am I going to invest into exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, depending on the 401k plan you actually have, you probably don't have that much freedom. But the overall idea is you want to have index funds that are involved in different sectors of the market. For example, in the US market, international market, small cap market, into some real estate, and so on and so on. So
yeah, I listened to the video on that, and I was really, captivated by that. Yeah.
Okay. So in all of my videos, if you click the latest video, right? Click the latest video. When you scroll all the way down in the description, you'll see a link for M1 Finance. When you click that link, it shows you exactly what I invest into, right? My exact portfolio. Now, this portfolio is not risky and it's not too crazy. It's moderately aggressive. So you have 80% into stock ETFs and then 20% into bonds. Okay, so it's not that risky. And then you go ahead and you can actually use that money in M1 Finance and start investing, for example, into your Roth IRA. If you want to do that with your retirement plan, just compare that portfolio to whatever they actually offer and build a plan like that within your retirement plan. If you want to do it directly, for example, with Vanguard, the company, they also offer Roth IRAs. And also, for example, well, the 401k is going to be with your company. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I have a 401b.
It's the same thing. Don't worry about it. It's just that's something to give it, for example, for nurses and teachers and all that stuff. So you can have that, it's fine. Now, if you have a 403b plan,
Okay, go ahead.
Ask your employer if he has a Roth 403b plan.
A Roth, can you say that again?
Roth, ROTH. Roth 403b plan. Now, why? When you invest money into a 403b plan, like the normal traditional one, you're investing your pre-tax money, meaning it saves you money on taxes today, but when you're 60 or 54 and you want to take the money out, they'll tax you on it. But if you put it into a Roth IRA, a Roth 403b plan, you're able to invest, for example, your money post-tax. So you don't save money on taxes today, but when it's time to take it out, you take out all that money 100% tax-free. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
So it saves you a lot more money in the future, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask you guys a question. Olayemi, and also Olu.
Yes.
Can Olu hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to sell this car?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The answer is no, not now. Because the reason being that I just bought it and it's I have 5 years warranty on it, but my intention was to use it for 5 years and after 5 years sell it.
Now, here's the thing, right? You know this, Ulu, right? 'Cause this is not your first car. You know, for example, the first year of a car, you lose 10%. The third, fifth year, you lose around between 40 to 50%. So by the time you get to year 5, you're selling that car for half the price that you actually bought it at. Now, the big thing is, if you make $5,000, your wife makes $3,000, you got to say, well, Tommy, the real question here is, am I willing to pay off $53,000 first before I pay off my mortgage first and take care of my wife, myself, and also my kids? Because do you use that car for work or just like for personal use?
It's for personal use, for pleasure.
Yeah. So look, I'm not against pleasure. I have nice things also. But what I would want for you is basically, I want you to sacrifice today. And by the way, right now the car market is insane. Used cars for the first time ever are being sold for more money than they usually would be worth. So if you were to sell this car, you probably get all your money back potentially. So if you sell this car and you buy, for example, a used $5,000, $10,000 car, right? And by the way, for perspective here, Olu, I make around between $200,000 to $300,000 every single year, and I have a $9,000 Toyota Prius from 2014. Okay, so
Right.
what I'm saying is it is okay to go ahead, sell this car for now, get your money back, get out of that debt, and then focus all your income on basically buying your home and buying your freedom. Once that home is fully paid off and you've been investing money, for example, into retirement accounts, well, Olu, you're no longer spending $1,000 on a car, on the house every single month or anything like that, right? So you have all this free cash flow. So if you and your wife want to go on vacation, if you want to buy a nicer car or whatever you want to do, you can do it. But now you have no risk because your mortgage is fully paid off. Does that make sense?
Right, it does actually. And you know what? Actually, I might end up selling the car if I actually have to, because I'm employed by the government of state of Washington.
Yeah.
And right now, because I've been working from home for like a year and a half, so if they ask me to come back, that would be an incentive for me to actually sell that car.
Mm-hmm. No, the incentive is the only incentive here is your wife, your kids, and yourself, and paying off this house. If you pay off this house, you have more money to invest. You have more money to buy the car you want to buy, and you can buy it for cash. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's $100,000 that you have on four wheels that every single time you drive it, it depreciates. If you sell it today, you get your money back. You might lose $3,000, $5,000. You pay that back. You save up for emergency, so that way you're good to go in case you lose your job or your wife loses her job or she breaks a leg, whatever happens. And then you're like, hey, let me buy a used $10,000, 15K car, good price, good car. And then, for example, pay off the home. I'm investing money. And then 2-3 years from now, you have a fully paid off home. You have money in the bank. And by the way, once you guys are done with this house, because I know you guys are going to do it, don't stop investing. Okay? Still invest 10 to 20%. And since you have, guys, for example, 2 kids, open up a 529 account. That's an account for kids to go to college. It allows you to invest money, it's tax-free, but they can use it, for example, for their entire education. You can invest inside that account between 5 to 10% also. So while you're investing into yourselves, like that 10, 20%, invest another 5% towards the 529 account. You can get that, for example, either with M1 Finance. You can get it, for example, with Vanguard. These are all companies that focus on investments, by the way. You get it there. You have the same portfolio. You throw an extra 5% over there. And then 5 to 10 years from now, you have a good chunk of money to help them out with college also. Does that make sense?
It does, yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No
Thank
problem.
you. So, you've given me something to consider, actually. So, selling the car is an option for sure for now.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the question I have right now is how much makes sense to start with investment?
Well, I wouldn't invest until I'm debt free. Everything except the house, right? That's the big thing here. But if you do sell this car, or if you guys do pay it off, the answer is just invest between 10 to 20%. Some people do, for example, 15%. That's fine. Yeah. So that whatever you make, if you make $5,000 or $4,000 or $3,000 per month, just invest between 10 to 20% of your income. Now, once you choose a number, whether it's 15% or 20%, you stick to that. You don't change it. That's the one rule. So if you pick 15%, you make it automated. So if you have a job, an employer, you say, hey, automatically deduct this from my check and put it into my 401k. And then if you open up, for example, a Vanguard Roth IRA, you go to Vanguard, say, hey, automatically, or with M1 Finance, I use M1 Finance, by the way, it's my favorite app. You say, hey, I want you guys to take automatically from my account every single Friday or every single month this amount. You want to automate it. That way you don't think about it. Now, for perspective here, right? Because I know you want to know how much money you'll have, for example, in a few years from now. If you guys have $8,000 in income, right? If you invest 20% of that, that's around $1,600 every single month. Now, if you go on Google and you type in, for example, compound interest calculator, it'll tell you exactly how much money you'll have, for example, let's say in 10 years from now. That means every single year, you'll be investing around $19,200. That's enough money to max out your Roth IRA and put some money also into your 401ks. Now, if you're gonna do this for 10 years, you start off, for example, with $0 and by the way, the portfolio I give you makes between 8 to 12% on average. That's the goal over the long term. If you make, let's say 10%, meet me halfway here, you're gonna have in 10 years around $336,000 invested.
Wow.
Right.
In 20 years, right? Because you guys sound pretty young, so amazing.
No, we are not young though.
How old are you guys?
I am 45.
So I was right. You guys are pretty young. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
You guys are pretty young. You guys are fine. So in 20 years from now, you have around $1.2 million invested. Now, the good thing is that, again, remember, right? This is all based on 20%. But remember, once the home is paid off, you have all of this free cash flow to just have fun, go on vacation, and enjoy yourself. So the goal is to become a millionaire through your investments, but it's also to enjoy life. And once you don't have that big expense, you can say, hey, let's grab this money we used on the mortgage, let's go on vacation, let's buy the car Olu actually wants, and let's do whatever we want to do. Okay?
Yeah.
But don't go into debt, avoid credit cards, don't do card payments, you buy things in cash. So if you have an $8,000 income, you spend 40% of your income on your expenses, 20% investments, you should still have around like 40%. You use that money, you say, I want to buy this car, it's $30,000, $40,000. I'm going to grab 1 to 3 years, save up for it, and then buy the car. You pay cash for it. The goal is not to have anybody have any type of power over you by you owing them money. You want financial freedom, basically. And that's why I'm saying that car right now is not allowing you to have financial freedom as fast as possible and take care of you and also your family.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is so true. But I have something to bring to your attention, though.
Yes, go ahead.
We actually just relocated from Canada.
Okay, welcome.
My wife just spent 5 years in the U.S. and mine is just ours is 6, mine is almost 4 years.
Okay.
Before then, we do have a life insurance that has
life insurance
component.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna recommend, right? How much money does that cost you per month?
Oh, well, it's costing us roughly 300 Canadian dollars.
Okay, now here is the truth. You have 2 types of insurance usually that are the most popular, okay? You have whole life insurance, and usually the gimmick is, hey, you build up a cash policy, you have this, you have that, oh my gosh. And then you have, for example, term life insurance, which is basically, if you guys are 40, 45, 46, 50 years old, you say, hey, I want a policy for 20 years total, right? In 20 years, if I pass away, I want that money to be given to my family. Now, when it comes to your policy size, all you need is around between 10 to 15 times your income, right? So if you guys make $80K per year times 10, that's $800,000, right? So you have a policy of that size. Now, the big difference here, Olu, is going to be that basically term life insurance is usually 10 times cheaper than whole life. No, you don't build up, you don't build up any cash in it, but you don't need to. Here's why, okay? Because if you are paying, for example, $300 with this policy that you have currently, and you only pay, for example, let's say $60 with the new policy. And by the way, there's a website, it's called Policy Genius. And what they do is they compare all the policies out there and they find the one that's right for you. So look it up, it's called Policy Genius. And they find a term life insurance policy that's right for you, that's gonna be the cheapest and has the best coverage. So if you spend $60 on this new policy, that means you're saving around $240 every single month, right? For 20 years.
Right.
Now, if in 20 years, for example, nothing happens to you, for example, you can just invest the difference into your retirement. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
So if you invest $2,880 in savings every single year over 20 years, right, at a 10% return, you'll have around $181,000 invested and built up. While if you paid these people $300 a month, in 20 years, you would have paid them somewhere around $72,000. And you'll have, for example, a slim amount of money in that little investment account. It's just too expensive and it's ridiculous. So
that's exactly what I wanted to find out from you, that given this situation, because one thing that my wife has been telling me is for us to cancel the one in Canada. And I was a little bit hesitant, reason being that we've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe it's not advisable for us to do that. So, but I really want to get your take on that. Do you think it's best for us to just cancel it and just divert the money into investment here?
I would cancel it. Before I cancel it, I would go on Policy Genius, find a policy that works for me and my wife, my kids, and then say, well, this policy right here is only $60, $80. The difference that you're saving from the one in Canada, grab that money and you throw it into your Roth IRA or into your 401k accounts. That way that money is being invested and it's not being wasted. Now, the big thing is right here, all right, Olu, because I know you care about your family here. You might say, Tommy, well, the whole life insurance is for my whole life. The term life is just for 20 years. If it goes 20 years, something happens, what happens then to my family? The idea is life insurance is supposed to give you like this little safety while you're kind of making things work. By 2 years from now, you have a paid off home, right? You have a lot of money in investments. You're still investing consistently for 20 years. So by the time the 20-year mark already comes, if you do pass away or your wife does pass away, you already built up a massive amount of money in your nest egg. So you don't need that life insurance policy anymore. Does that make sense?
Thank you. Yeah, it does. Because I just want to make sure that I'm getting the right advice before I take.
They're going to try to scare you. They're going to try to scare you.
You'll be very honest.
Don't let them scare you.
What you've said so far actually aligns with what I've been telling my wife about. Well, you know what? First thing that we have to do is to make sure that we clear the mortgage.
Exactly.
And I'm happy that you actually repeated that, because that sort of validated what I've been telling my wife, that what we have to focus on first is clearing this mortgage, which is something in the region of $39,000.
Okay.
And can easily clear.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the one thing I will say though, right? The big selling point of the car dealerships right now is saying, for example, that the interest rate is 0%, right? But if I told you, Ole, you're gonna give me $50,000, right? But by the time you're done paying it to me interest free, I'm only gonna give you back $25,000. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It doesn't make sense, right? So the point is, they say interest free, but the car is devaluing like crazy.
Oh, no doubt,
That's the big thing. So I'm not against you buying a new car. I'm against you buying a new car when you're not just ready. So once you're fully done with that mortgage and you want to buy a new car, you save up for it and you pay cash for it. And guess what? That car is 100% yours. No one can take it from you. There's no repo. There's no payments. There's no headache.
That is so true, yeah.
That's my main point here. But you guys are awesome. You guys have a great income, great family. And so far, you guys have been trying to invest and also, for example, take care of that mortgage. It's just like the little like having it like in a system, right? First, get out of debt.
Yeah.
You save for emergencies first. Remember, 3 to 6 months. So that way, if you lose your job, Ole, or your wife loses her job, you guys are good to go. Take care of the family, take care of the kids. And then you say, I'll invest 10, 20% plus 5% for my kids. And then you say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and start throwing all the extra money towards the mortgage. Okay?
Yeah, that is so true. And in addition to actually doing a life insurance, we have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
The first one is going to college. She's 18. We've been doing the educational savings plan, registered educational savings plan in Canada for her since she was born, and the same thing with the boy. So,
awesome.
So we tried as much as possible to make sure that we protect the family. But listening to you, I'm truly encouraged, because when it comes to investment, I'm not really a novice.
Yeah.
The fact that what you've just said actually corroborated what I believe.
Yeah.
Made me sort of have some
confidence,
reasonable level of trust in you.
Yeah.
That I would like to continue to have this relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's going to be at a cost, I don't mind, because I need
these calls are free. You can schedule a call whenever you want to, and you can give me a call. Okay. Now, one thing that I did notice that you spoke about is that you have kids and they're going to college pretty soon. There's a guy. His name is Anthony O'Neill, and he has a book. It's called Debt Free Degree. It's about how to go to college. Yeah, Anthony O'Neill, and the book name is called Debt Free Degree. And he talks about exactly a system so your kids, when they go to college, they can go debt free. And just to summarize here, because I know it's interesting for you, the summary is, instead of going to a private school or a fancy school, the first 2 years of every college degree usually is going to be just, for example, the first classes, like psychology, the math, all those things, right? They can take those courses at a community college for a fraction of the price while they're working. Once they're done with those first 2 years, they can transfer over those credits to a 4-year college and then pay for those things right there out of cash. And they apply for a bunch of scholarships. The goal is, don't go to the expensive college until you have those prerequisites like courses and credits that you can save a lot of money, for example, in a community college. Does that make sense?
That's exactly what we're doing right now, actually, for him. For our rather, yes.
Exactly. Then you're on track. You're on track.
Yeah. Thank you. So anytime we have questions, we're free to schedule telephone conversation with you.
Yeah. Feel free to schedule a call. Currently, I'm working on a course to actually give to you guys, to actually have everything I'm saying, like just laid out in a full-blown course, and also a consultation. Nice. But for right now, you have full access to me whenever you want to give me a call. You have Monday to Friday. Okay. You go on the little app thing, you schedule a call, and I'll give you a call directly, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for the call. I look forward to talking to you guys again, and hopefully cancel that insurance and you sell that car. Okay?
I will, for sure. Because the way it is, I will have to think about it and probably act on it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys a ton, man. And welcome to the long-term team, okay? Have fun.
Yeah.
Bye. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. What an amazing call. High income, extremely high. And you know something? There's a book that I read a long time ago, and it's called Self-Sabotage. There's a whole theory behind it. And it's the idea that the closer you get to your goal, people find ways to sabotage themselves. Same thing with me, I might be really close to my weight goal, and before you know it, I'm eating a cheesecake. All right? Happens every now and then. But the point is basically, these people are so close to financial freedom. And then they go ahead and they buy this very fancy car. And it could have been that, it could have been a bigger house, it could have been something different. But the point is, that's why you always gotta settle down and kind of see exactly, hey, what do I want to do? What do I actually want out of life? I want freedom. I want nice things. Well, what do you do first? You eat your vegetables first, and then you go straight into whatever else you want. That's the core idea here. So, and by the way, guys, just for concepts here, that whole selling point of 0% interest, but you buy something you can't afford, massive liability, not a good idea. That whole selling point of like, hey, I have life insurance for like the rest of my life, all of this stuff, right? The answer is you don't need it for the rest of your life if you're gonna be investing and doing things correctly. That's the core idea right there. Well, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, feel free to go ahead and basically give me a call when you guys are ready and you guys actually want to. Link down below, schedule a call today. And one thing I noticed is basically, whenever I do these calls, I want you guys to have full-blown action steps. So I'm gonna start either creating a website or attaching, for example, little PDFs you can actually go to and get started on exactly the way I invest, how I pay debts, how I do the whole process. That way you have a full system to take care of as soon as you're done with this call right here. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. Comment down below any questions. If you want to join me, you know what to do. Link down below. On top of, I'll see you guys tomorrow. More content like this right here, more calls right here. Click my face right here. And as always, peace.